Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show. Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is now time for This Week in Geek. Ooh. That is a rousing round of applause, isn't it?
Rousing.
I'm going to actually start counting how many people are here with two hands. So that's an improvement. I do. And apparently everything I say, lots of laughing. So
no booze.
Yeah.
No booze at all. Really? There you go.
No, because it helps. It helps. A couple of things before we get started here. This weekend, the reason we're here tonight instead of our normal Saturday night, Inhibit Theater is going to be here doing a play called Scenes in a Coffee Shop. It's all about I don't know what it's all about, but during it there is a geek podcast going on in a coffee shop. So
shockingly, that
I wonder
very meta for us.
An unintentional podcast.
Wonder where they got that idea.
Unintentional podcasting.
Yeah.
No, actually, scenes from a coffee shop is just individual little snippets of what happens in a coffee shop and interactions between people. There is a Doctor Who Whovian. Is one of the girls that actually works here that's in the play, and it's an interactive thing, and it's going to be really good if you want. Giving the information now doesn't matter, does
Okay.
it? So, sorry. I was going to say, you can go to Inhabit Theater to see where else they're playing. They want to do this play at several other coffee houses in the Chicago area.
Sure.
So, www.inhabittheater.com.
All right. There you go.
Quit laughing at me.
But definitely come out Saturday night. Check them out. They're here a couple of nights, aren't they?
Right. They're here. If you're here, they're here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What is that? The 11th through the 13th and the 18th through the 20th.
Please, I don't know what the date is today. It's the 9th, isn't it?
The 9th.
The 9th.
It's the 9th.
Yes, it is. Nice
hey,
job.
Welcome to This Week in Geek. It's April 9th.
Hey.
Listen to that.
April?
Rounds of applause. Yeah. And I just said rounds of applause, so.
Here. That's a round.
Yeah. All right, so we got that out of the way. I want to jump right into this because we got lots of things to talk about.
Okay.
So, right up front.
Look at that. He's got notes. I'm scared.
I do. I have notes this time. You know, I already don't like what I have for right up front, so I'm going to change it.
Nice.
Okay, here's a good one. This is probably the biggest news that hit today. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Apparently,
Yes.
ABC is looking at doing a spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been a show. Now, you guys know we do a podcast about it, and I love it. I have a lot of fun with it. I love the Marvel stuff. We've talked about this on our show a lot, that there is potential. And, in fact, we recorded last night, and I don't know if what we talked about last night, this part of it actually is on the show or if it was before we talked. But we actually talked about the possibility of a spinoff.
Right.
And we were talking about how this could work. Now, it's funny because then today, this is the news that's announced, and nobody knows what it's about. Everyone's speculating. The only thing that they've said is that there are things happening in this season that are laying the groundwork. They're not going to have one of those, launch the other series episodes, but there's stuff you're seeing now that when the second series happens, if it does, it's all going to make sense.
Okay.
Are you watching it, Chris? I know you're watching it.
I'm watching.
I'm watching parts of it. Again, I just don't have a whole lot of time, and I'm going to do the binge watch again after when the season gets released. So,
well, you know about the real Shield, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is my theory. I think that they're going to spin off Mockingbird or this whole real Shield thing and have more of like a CSI type Shield show with them, and let Agents of Shield be this like superhero thing that's growing. Right. Because look at everyone keeps talking about how the whole team is basically becoming superheroes or they have alien blood in them. Well, the Edward James Olmos group does not.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're against we'll call them the supers, basically. So I think that makes perfect sense to make that your spinoff. Do something that's like a hardcore, crime thing with S.H.I.E.L.D. and let this other one go into this crazy world of superheroes.
Do you think they will kind of
let Mockingbird go with that because she adds that superhero element to it?
Absolutely. Do you think they're going to do it like in what's the actual term I'm using for it? I can't loyalist opposition, where they'll be part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they'll be like the subgroup that protects humanity versus the superpowers, where it won't be they work actively against them, but they're not going to be always trustworthy.
Because right now they're almost two groups. Well, they are two groups. There's the real S.H.I.E.L.D. and then there's Coulson's group, who actually is S.H.I.E.L.D. because Nick Fury made him the guy in charge.
Right.
I think that's going to remain that way. He may not stay as director, but I have a feeling you're going to see this all go the way it goes. Maria Hill could easily become director of real S.H.I.E.L.D. Of that other group, and that's what leads into Civil War. So, make sense?
Well,
that could make sense.
Well, and plus they've got the whole universe that they're really expanding and pushing a lot on, and they need to have that TV show tie-in, I think, with the superheroes, and then they can do the other part where they can be loosely equated with them, but not.
Well, and everybody wanted S.H.I.E.L.D. to be superheroes. That was a big complaint when it started, and now you're getting it. But there's this other interesting thing that S.H.I.E.L.D. could be.
Right.
And I'm excited. I think that's the way it's going. We could be completely wrong. It could be,
Inhuman.
It could be superheroes. Like
it could be it could be the Fitz and Simmons comedy hour, and that's what it becomes, and it's just completely different. Mariah Carey shows up as a guest star. That'd be the worst show ever.
They'll do it on a cruise ship. It'll be crazy.
It'll be on a cruise ship. Oh, wait a minute.
You heard it here. That's all I have to say.
You get to say it. Mark my words.
Mark my words.
All right, so that was the first one we had. I like that one. What do you got, Edward? I can tell you.
I had that one.
What? Oh, you had that one?
Yeah. So go
you got one over there, Chris?
I have a bad one.
They just put out from Age of Ultron a full body poster of the Vision.
The Vision,
yes.
He looks crazy good. Paul Bellamy is so good as either the bad guy or the good guy. He just looks great. So.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah.
This was a character, because he's so bizarre looking, I was really nervous about how they were going to pull it off. I thought, okay, they're either going to it's either going to look terrible, or the other possibility I thought was they were going to, Fox X-Men it and make it like the Vision's in all green leather and has a little bit of a red tint to his head. I thought that's what they're going to do, but no, he looks like the Vision.
He does.
And it works.
Oh, it does. And plus, he has such an unbelievable sneer and look.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you look at that picture, you just look at him and say, here's another role he was made to play.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely. That and they released that trailer that showed his eyes, and you can see there's like the machinery inside his eyes,
right?
Which is extremely cool. But this was the payoff. I mean, here it was. You already know. I cannot wait. Now, I got an update, though. We've talked about it on here. We talked about it on Enough Said before. They're doing that big marathon where they're showing all the movies 27 hours. They're not doing it here.
No way.
They're not doing it here. I looked up all the theaters. I thought it was going to be at Lake in the Hills. I thought it would be in Schaumburg.
Right.
It's not out here. I mean, the closest place is like 12 hours away. I mean, ridiculous.
You promised everyone that you'd do it, so...
No, I said I would do it if I could. Oh, you want to pay for me to go 12 hours away to go see 27 hours of movies? I don't either.
Well, if your mom pays for 12 hours, I'll pay for 12 more.
Yeah, but I got to get there. So here's my thought. They're doing Avengers 1 and Avengers 2. Now, Chris, you're going to be gone.
I am going to be gone.
So, Edward, are we going to the double feature?
You can do 6 hours in a movie. Come on, Edward.
Man. Yes.
Come
so
on,
we're doing
yes.
it. Ruth, we're in.
Well,
So we're doing the double feature, Avengers 1, Avengers 2, opening night. Okay, we got to get our tickets. So there we go. There's our compromise. What about Daredevil? Are you going to binge Daredevil this weekend?
yes.
Am I getting to binge Daredevil this weekend? Yes.
Oh,
So that
no,
was
I'm
another
not.
one.
I'm not.
This week,
Is that tonight at midnight or?
No,
is
I
it
think
tomorrow?
it's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
midnight.
Saturday
think so.
morning at 12.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Edward can look it up. He's
here
got
we
the
go.
internet.
Hold on. It says March
There you
12th at
go.
midnight. So does that mean?
If it's March 12th at midnight, we missed it.
No, today's the 9th.
Today's April.
I mean March. Sorry, April. You know. I work in a coffee shop. I'm highly caffeinated. I can't.
right.
I can't.
I'm sitting in a coffee shop. I'm highly caffeinated too.
See, there we go.
Now we have an excuse. So I don't know. I think I thought it was Saturday night at midnight.
It might
when
be.
it hit. So okay.
Hello.
The other thing, as long as we're talking Daredevil, as long as I'm all excited about
Sure.
it, they did reveal his red suit this
Yeah.
week.
Yes, I saw
So
that.
this was the big thing. He's in the black suit, and they keep saying, are they going to show the red suit?
And
then
they
they
did.
hinted a couple of weeks ago that they are. They showed it, and it's awesome.
It is awesome. It's going to be great. So
I want to see him move in the red suit, though, because all we saw was that front look,
Yeah,
and it looked not totally dissimilar from the Batfleck one, you know?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, it's the Daredevil costume, but it wasn't super far from that, but I want to see him move in this thing. I really wish they had the yellow suit, too. That would be too much.
you know they want to extend this a little bit more than one season. So you know,
Oh, I
let's
want
figure
him to. Oh, you know I
know.
want him to. But we're getting. This is essentially a 13-hour Daredevil movie.
Right.
I mean, I am beside myself. This is like, as much as like when we have a Lil and you know he's all about Spider-Man.
Right.
You're Daredevil,
Spider-Man
yeah.
and Daredevil. Those were my two guys. And now that Spider-Man's in the MCU, we are getting that much closer to something with the two of them. Oh my gosh! There's a great
mark your
moment.
words.
There's a great moment in the comics where Matt Murdock, who's Daredevil, is with
Spoilers.
Peter Parker. They have not revealed secret identities or anything.
Oh, yeah, I
and you know
remember
Matt
that.
Murdock is blind, right?
Right.
And they're sitting there talking, and Murdock says, you know, okay, Spider-Man, and he's like, what? Ha ha ha. He goes, no, I can read heartbeats.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm Daredevil. And he's like, what? And he's like,
So-
yeah. So I know your secret. I know everybody's secret identity
Right.
because you have the same heartbeat as Peter Parker. There's no two that match. It's just like this great moment. I remember when I
Yeah.
read it in the comics, I was like blown away. Ooh,
yeah.
I'm so excited. Woo, the caffeine's kicking in too.
So
That's good.
The debut of Daredevil is Friday, April the 10th.
So Friday night, is it Friday night at midnight or when does it hit?
Friday, April 10th. That's all I know.
Wait.
So it could
So
be
it might
tonight.
be tonight at midnight.
Yeah. See.
It might be tonight at midnight,
Yeah.
Mark.
See.
Yes. Want to stay up? Want to have a Daredevil party? Yes, Daredevil party.
Martha, I dare you.
And we're getting nachos too.
Organic nachos and
Okay, I got.
I have one.
You have
better.
one? Oh, Edward has one.
for
Edward
me-
has one.
For me, I have one better than Daredevil. It's
No,
Brad-
wait a
yes,
minute.
yes.
No, not better than Daredevil.
For me,
There's almost
yes.
nothing better than Daredevil. Go ahead.
Brad Bird has begun writing Incredibles 2.
Yes, that was dropped this week. Yes.
Yes.
So a couple months ago, they dropped that they were definitely doing Incredibles 2. So I'm actually just kind of surprised that he's just now writing it.
Yeah.
Although he's got Tomorrowland coming out. So, I mean, who knows? He may have been writing this for a while. This is just an excuse to go, okay, we got Brad Bird's name in the news. He's doing Tomorrowland. Now let's say he's working on Incredibles 2 and really build some mojo behind this. Either way, it's all great news. I
is.
love The Incredibles.
I do also. I'll agree with you on that.
Oh, hey, we got an agreement. Chris, you like The Incredibles?
I do.
See?
Yeah.
There you
It
go.
was actually one of the movies that I did see, the cartoon.
Yeah, cartoons,
I
yes.
really enjoyed that. That was good. So
All right, all right. A couple of trailers dropped this week. In fact, today, No, it was the season 3
boom, boom.
for Orange is the New Black dropped today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we do an Orange is the New Black podcast, so I'm excited about that.
Not rated for all ages.
But it was.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you talk about that show for all
podcast.
ages?
No,
Yeah,
we do it.
there's people in prison. The people are in prison. Thank you.
Our
2
podcast
seconds.
is, but the show is not. But yeah, the season 3. Did you guys watch the trailer? You don't watch it.
Do you expect me to watch
No,
the
I don't.
trailer?
Chris, did you
Okay.
watch
I have
it?
not seen
I
it, but
did
I
not
am
watch the
eagerly
trailer.
anticipating watching it.
You know, it doesn't really tell you much.
Sure.
But Alex is back. One of the guards says to Piper, "Oh yeah, the pretty one's here." She's like, "Who?" And then they show Alex walk in. So that's good. That's going to be fun. And it looked like I don't know who it was. It might have been Boo, or it might have been one of the other ones. Got like a real short, like what do they call those haircuts? No, like a pixie cut or a yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, that's a pixie cut. What's the one that goes down and it's like this length?
A bob.
Yeah, one of them got a black bob and started screaming because they had a black bob.
Oh no.
That wouldn't be Boo, though. Boo wouldn't. No, she's got an.
She doesn't have enough hair. Okay.
She
It's
has a
another
mullet.
one. Maybe it's, I don't know who it is. It's somebody.
Something I don't know.
Her hair's black.
What?
I don't know. Who's Black Bob? Is that what you asked me? I don't know. Her hair is black and she had a bob, so it's a black bob. That's what I know.
It is
No,
a
that's what I
black
said.
bob.
Okay, I got bad news. I got bad
Okay.
news. So we'll move off of that. There was a celebrity death this week that I want to pay a little tribute here to this guy because this is a guy I really like things that I've seen him in. Does anyone know who Robert Zadar is?
Nope.
Robert Zadar. Okay, I know him from the Maniac Cop movies, which I am a huge fan of. Maniac Cop is awesomeness in all ways. But he's this actor. He was in Tango and Cash. He's been in like 100 movies. I looked him up on IMDb. He's been in tons of stuff.
Oh, no way.
But he's this guy that has this. He had a really big jaw, like Jay,
Like crazy.
bigger than mine. Take
like-
mine, add it with Jay Leno's, and
Right.
pump it up with some extra.
It was like a cross between Jay Leno and Burt Reynolds would be the way to describe him, possibly.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. And he had this very distinct look. Actually, it turns out that he had a disease that caused this. It causes the jawbone to grow. But he was a really, interesting guy. I loved the Maniac Cop movies, and he was great in it. Yeah. Your jaw's looking a little large right now, too. But Robert Zadar died this week, and he was young. He was, in his, late 60s or something?
64, 65.
Okay, you're looking it up. So, yeah. So, I don't mean to bring
Chicago's
everybody
own.
down, but is he from Chicago?
From Chicago.
I was really bummed when I read it. You read a
Yeah.
lot of these celebrity deaths, and, there's always somebody dying, right?
Yes.
And this was one that I went oh,
Yeah.
that was like my high school life was watching Maniac Cop on late night TV, because I love B movies. And that was like the king of the B movies.
Wait, I have a B movie. Yes.
You got a B movie? Oh, is it a sequel to B movie?
Yeah. No, it's. I don't know. I think you like it better, but there is a Human Centipede 3.
Oh no.
There is a
No.
trailer. There is a trailer.
No.
No.
Have either of you seen any of these movies?
No. I don't.
I love these kind of movies. I will
Wait, you
not watch the Human Centipede movies.
Wait, you
they
love
are
those?
so gross. They are so gross. And Human Centipede 3, it said that they make like a 150-person Human Centipede in this one. I'm like, first of all, I have a problem with the premise of this. Where are they getting 150 people to do this?
Correct.
I'm not going to tell you what they do, but I'm not going to tell you. I mean, where do they get people to do this?
No. I feel like.
No.
No.
Now that
No,
I would watch,
no.
like a guy who he goes through a time machine and he teleports. Oh, a teleporter, and he's with a centipede and he turns into a centipede. Oh no, that's the Fly.
That's a fly. Wait. Jeff Goldblum's in this
so-
movie?
yeah. Well, and Iggy Pop was a centipede in Once Upon a Time, Wonderland. Was that a centipede? What is he? He's a caterpillar. Same difference.
Same difference.
Same difference. It was Iggy Pop. So this is like 150
yeah.
Iggy Pops
I just have a question. You're like a guy in that movie. Yeah, I'm the 54th from the back.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The only guy who doesn't have it that bad is the first guy.
Yes.
Everybody after number one, they go, how do we say this delicately? The mouth is sewn to the sphincter of the other person. Not to themselves, then they'd be a human donut. Or human pill bug. That's what they need to make, human pill bug. So that's what it is.
No.
I'm not watching it.
No.
At least not until I'm done with Daredevil. Okay.
I have a better story. Well, not really better. Ryan Reynolds. He shared a picture of him, of Daredevil.
More
Daredevil.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
Okay.
Deadpool.
The
Deadpool reacting
in
to...
front of the fireplace where he's lounging, that picture?
no.
Well, we talked about that one before. That was revealing the costume. And then he did the thing with Mario Lopez.
Right.
And he,
Sorry.
where he did...
It's
I almost...
That's a bad mashup,
his,
Mario Lam.
it's his reaction
Lopez.
to
Yes.
the comics. It's his reaction to the comics.
Oh, yeah,
killing
yeah,
off
yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
the
they
comics
took-
just killed
they-
off Deadpool,
Oh, yeah, right.
so...
Yeah,
now
well,
he's doing
they're
that.
doing a good job with the marketing of this because they're hitting all the right notes with Deadpool to get the Deadpool fan to see it. I'm still nervous. I'm not sure about this. You know, I'll go.
I like it.
Right.
I'll go. I know you love it. I know
love
you
it.
love Deadpool. I like Deadpool, but I'm not sure. But I like these things. All these things are kind of selling me, but I'm still not sure about an hour and a half or 2 hour movie.
Yeah, and it depends if they make it silly, which they may tend to. It looks like will be that silliness.
That's not going to do it for me.
No, it may not do it.
Because
so.
then it becomes like you know, like
the
the starving games with Deadpool.
like Green Lantern. I'm sorry.
Oh, like
Yes.
Green
Hello.
Lantern.
Hello.
Oh,
Boom.
no. No, please. He makes a big giant Matchbox car appear. And remember that when they made the
That was
track?
horrid. Because they could have done so much with that, and then they went to that Saturday morning comic book and cartoon. It just didn't work. So.
They if they wanted to go campy with it, they need to look at their blueprint from Batman and go, okay, we've got a blueprint for how to do campy.
Sure.
Or they don't need to go completely dark, but this was like, it was like dark mixed with we made it for kids. It's like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
No, that was the wrong feel. And especially when you look at like Sinestro was awesome in it.
It was.
That stuff was awesome, and you're like,
There were
there's
parts
the
that were
movie.
great in and I don't know the
Oa?
world
When they were on
Yeah,
Oa?
that was great.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that was
they get to
great.
that, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna make an artillery gun and try and shoot him.
Right. Yeah. That was. I can't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
I got one.
okay,
I
go
got
ahead.
Yes.
One. This was one I found. I've been trying to go to different sites and find different news. I've been going to IO9, Latino Review, JoeBlow.com. This one I found on. I just lost it. I was going to say it was IO9, but it wasn't. It was Newsarama, I think.
Newsarama.
They put a trailer up for a fan film. Now, I like fan films. In fact, I would love it if Southgate Media Group started producing fan films. That would be like a dream come true. We could make our own Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. How awesome would that be? We could make our own Big Hero 6 with a Lil as Baymax. That would be incredible.
That'd be ugly.
And I could be Robert Zadar in Maniac Cop 4, the fan
You
film.
could play Rob
Anyway,
Southgate in
I
Unintentional.
could too. Unintentional cosplay of Robert Zadar.
Yes.
Anyway, they did a fan film, and these are cool. Like they did one. We've seen the one for Predator. They just did the one for the Power Rangers. It was good. Okay.
Are you talking about where they mash the clips together, or where they
No.
produce one?
They make like a short film.
Oh, the one
but
where they
it's-
superimposed with Predator. That one that came. Yeah, that
yes,
was really
the
good.
one. It's called Predator: Dark Ages. Did you see this?
Yeah, that was great. That was
So here's the premise. They'll never make this movie, but it was awesome. They do the Predator story, but because the Predator, they fixed something that's wrong with Predator. Okay? I liked the movie Predators. I liked the first Predator movie, but the second one, it was like, okay, now he's in New York. This is not...
Right.
Same time frame. It's like these guys aren't stuck to a time frame or anything.
Right.
So Predator Dark Ages, they have him visiting the planet and hunting guys in medieval times. Not like at medieval times. Would you like a Coke Predator?
Medieval times, yes.
Fighting the Predator.
With Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick. That would be great.
But
Sorry.
it was him. it was the Predator, and it was these knights, and they went through all the characters, and they were kind of like they were in the guild. Like each one of them, like, here's the bard, and here's the warrior, and here's this. And then they show, and he's all clear, and you're like, and here's the Predator.
That's right.
That's awesome. So I really enjoyed that. I would sit through that movie.
Oh, sure, that would be great.
That sounds great to me. So we need to start making our own.
Eventually, they would shoot like 1,000,000 arrows and just kill the Predator. Do the.
But eventually,
it's the manpower.
But imagine like the guys they went like in Predator they had a frame of reference. Like cloaking and all that. They were kind of like that's like they may not have the technology, but they kind of somewhat understand it.
Right.
But for medieval times, a ship flies in.
It would,
what?
Right. It would be like Army of Darkness the way it should have been, as opposed to the way it was.
Right. Oh, there's the matchup.
Yes.
Predator Dark Ages mixed with the Evil Dead.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. Holy cow.
Ash versus Predator.
Ash versus Predator in medieval times. Would you like a Coke Predator? Shop S-Mart. Oh, that would be awesome. I almost slipped into the...
the Predator and an S-Mart.
Yes.
Yes. Vest would be great.
Yep.
Yes.
He walks in. Oh, you know what? I'm having a vision here. We need to get away from this. So there we go. You got one? You got one?
Sure. They released a picture of the cast of Suicide Squad.
Minus Jared Leto.
Minus Jared Leto.
But they did the first read-through for the script. Is that correct? That's what the picture's from. I thought.
Yeah.
They said the first read-through. So.
Yeah.
That's the first read-through.
Which also came out this week that the reason who's the guy that left? The one that was supposed to play Flag.
I can't remember.
It's Bane. The guy that played Bane.
Bill
Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
He together we made a brain there. Did you see that?
Yes.
Wonder Twin powers
brain.
activate. Form of a single brain. Bing. But in when he left, they said that he left because the Rick Flag character didn't have enough dialogue and blah blah blah. And he didn't come out and say anything. Well, this week it also came out that somebody attached to it that it sounds like this is in trouble in my opinion. I'm still very nervous about this. Some of it I'm really digging. Some of it I'm like, uh-oh.
Although Leto could save it with the makeup I've seen him in.
It looks pretty cool.
It looks really, but it looks very.
Well, it's fake though too. They haven't released any. That stuff is all fan made.
Oh, that's fan made.
Yeah, it's not real, but that is what it's going to look like essentially. That looks cool. Anyway, it said that Hardy left because they never gave them the scripts. So, and he's like, I don't want to get attached to this movie if I haven't seen a script.
And if they're still working on it and signing all these people, it's
right. I'm telling you, I'm nervous about this one. Here, this is their first read-through. This might be the first time these guys were seeing the script at all.
Probably.
And that makes me nervous. That makes me nervous when they're signing all these people, and they don't have a great track record with these scripts for these DC movies yet.
No. Well,
it's not like Marvel where you can go, you know what, just give me my sides, I'll show up and do my gig.
Exactly.
Because I know it's going to be a solid script.
Right.
I don't know that here.
No, well, who is directing it? I can't say that I know much about it. So
you know what? I don't know either. Do you know who's directing it?
David Ayer.
Oh yeah, David Ayer. So it's a good director.
Right. So I mean, I think we've seen in the past where bad directors have taken good scripts and they've butchered them.
Yes.
And I think that good directors can salvage bad scripts by editing, and hopefully
they
can get that.
But I'm just a little nervous.
Sure.
It's just like Justice League. It seems bloated with these characters.
Right.
Like, we got to get everybody we can into this movie, get them in the mainstream, and then we can start making money off of them. People say that about Avengers, but really it was like 5 Avengers, right?
Yeah.
And then the new one, they're adding some characters, but still it's 5 Avengers and then these couple other people they're adding in. And they're expanding the universe, but it's not like, hey, we've never introduced these characters to you. Right. Here's 400.
Well, I mean, because like when Justice League was in the cartoons, you could have, they did it for
Bleep.
but they did
Bleep
it for
and the Wonder Twins.
It was 2 hours of cartoon where they could put everybody in there. Over a month, you saw everybody, and you were happy.
Right.
You really didn't want to see Hawkman that much, but he came in every once in a while, and he was there, and that's cool.
And then there was Aquaman.
Yeah, there was
I'm actually much more excited for the Flash Arrow spinoff that has all those. Like everyone they're adding to that, I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds awesome. I'd rather see that than see this movie. Although I'm going to see the movie, I'm going to probably buy it on Blu-ray and whatever
Everything
digital
else.
format, just like Star Wars. They announced this week that Star Wars is coming out in digital format HD. That actually comes out tomorrow. By the
Right.
time when this airs is probably the day that comes out.
Sure.
Oh,
And
yay.
my first thought was, really? I'm going to buy it on another format?
Right.
Oh, $100? Wow. So
Hey,
$99.
gotta pay that $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Star Wars is a lot of
But
money.
you know what
so-
I also read this week? The rumor is, I think it's actually a little bit more than a rumor. I think it's one of these like it's one of those inside sources that said it, that they fixed the Han shot first
Correct.
thing.
Well,
Because, when Lucas redid it, he made it so Han shot
well, we
first.
talked
That
about it. It was
sucks.
going back to original,
Well,
like
but it's-
theater original.
Is that what this
That's
is?
what, that's what I mean. In the previous times we've talked about it, and I think Alil was right. They were going back to the original cinematic version, which I hope they do.
If these are the HD cinematic version,
Right, that would be great.
you know what? Then they're going to end up taking our money again, aren't they?
Well, and
Yes.
maybe fixing some of the cosmetic flaws, like the eyes through.
Oh,
the
like taking
canopy.
Jar Jar out?
Yeah, well, that would be great too. Well, they could. I think the original 3. I don't know about the. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
about
all I
1, 2,
wanna
3,
see are the original
4, 5,
3.
6. So
4, 5, 6, that's what I
yeah,
want to see.
get rid of go back to the Ewok dance is bad, or no? Yeah,
get it.
Go
to
back to the Ewok
original,
dance,
not
which is
that
bad.
second
no,
one.
the original of
Yeah.
6 would be great.
Get rid of that Jabba's Palace dance number.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the worst
was horrible.
thing in all of Star Wars. Everyone makes fun of Jar Jar. That Jabba the Hutt dance number, that was the worst thing.
It was horrible. And they changed the scene in the cantina, right? In the
Did they change that?
They added
Well,
a song. Didn't they add a song
in
to
the
it?
cantina. Well, the cantina in episode 4.
In Moise Isley, when they did it, I think they added a
I didn't mind the additions in episode 4.
right.
In episode 5,
Well, the one addition with him and
Jabba.
was kind of
yeah, it's kind of weird. But I didn't mind that. It wasn't until Return of the Jedi where it was like, we're going to add Ewoks dancing and we're going to add this
Right.
song and dance in Jabba's palace. That was all
Yeah.
garbage.
all the celebration at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad. So,
That's all Edward's favorite part.
but
though.
You turned it into a Disney movie.
yeah.
but the
Singing
additional
and
Now it is a
dancing.
Disney movie.
they add
is.
the addition of starfighters and X-wings and TIE fighters in the
Right.
battle scenes. I thought was good because the original at the time was fantastic, but by the time
When it was-
4,
yeah, it
5, and
looked
6 came out,
dated
it was
Yeah.
we could do more
well,
on
they
our
did
phone
little
than we could
things
do
like
that.
like when the TIE fighters would go by, or I'm sorry, the X-Wings would go by, you could see like the person is inside flying
Right.
it,
Yeah.
whereas before it was blocked
Right.
out.
Black.
Little things like that made a difference. And Bespin, when they were on the Cloud City and you could see that it had windows, that was cool
Right.
too. Because in
It
the
has
original one, it's all
windows.
enclosed.
Right.
When they added the windows,
Well, there was the one scene where you see them, and that was it. There was
Yeah,
one
right.
scene where
Yeah.
you could see them, and
I think we should get one of those Lobot things for Edward when we're on the show here, so he can access data from his Lobot
do
thing.
the keypad on his arm.
Yes, Edward, we're going to outfit you. You're going to be a cyborg now,
Oh, okay.
but not a cool one. Not like Will
Data.
Smith. Getting
So-
jiggy with it.
I have one.
Actually,
It's-
Lobot's much cooler. Sorry.
It's Ben Hardy Angel art. Ben Hardy's for the new.
Oh yeah, yeah.
movie.
Ben Hardy
Yeah.
is what they did is they confirmed that Ben Hardy is playing Angel
Angel.
in X-Men: Age of Apocalypse.
With art.
Or not Age of Apocalypse, just Apocalypse. It's
Apocalypse.
Age of Ultron and Apocalypse. He's the same guy that played the kid in the X-Men film where he was Angel. When he
Okay.
cut his wings
Oh
off?
yeah, yeah.
It's the same actor.
Oh,
well, that's
cool.
good.
So how are they doing this? And it looks like from these pictures, it's the metal wings and everything.
No, it's if you look right here. This is the white.
That looks
wings.
organic, and then this is...
Yeah.
But he goes to metal. That is metal for
this
sure.
is Archangel. This is.
So is he both
Angel.
Archangel and Angel?
My guess he's going to switch in the Apocalypse because he's going to Apocalypse's.
But how does he get there unless there's a time travel element? Because if it's the same actor, and
Yeah.
Bryan Singer has said he's keeping continuity somewhat. I mean, these movies are all over the place. But if it's the same actor, he's older now, how are they going to possibly do that?
But he wasn't that much of a kid. He was in his.
He was a
No,
kid.
No,
No, he wasn't. When he cut off
was-
in the beginning of the movie, he
Yeah.
was a child. But when he cut off his wings, he was a young
was-
adult.
yeah,
he was
he
in
was.
He was in his late
was
teens,
YA.
early 20s. He was YA, yeah. But I think he was like
He was
maybe
reading
his early
Twilight.
20s. He was. So there.
But I think they're going to switch him into Angel into Archangel because of.
But is it going to be the bad guy Archangel or the good guy Archangel?
He's probably what they're probably going to do is make him bad guy at the very end of the movie, then switch him over to good.
Spoiler.
The next movie.
Spoiler, Edward.
That is a spoiler.
Mark my words, but that's going to happen.
Mark
It's-
Edwards'
it's
words.
And
gonna
that would be like
happen
a perfect
eventually.
character to do that kind of switch sides and
Yes,
go back and forth because he
absolutely.
was always tormented.
Just don't make him turn into an actual angel like in the comics.
Exactly. All right,
Yeah.
I got one.
You got one?
Even though I know it's a little dated, Game of Thrones starts this weekend on Sunday. So yeah, it's a big weekend for people who've been waiting a long, long time to get to the next version of it.
Yes.
And I think we've gone over this before, and even in this podcast, but they have shown the tendency to vary from the books, which is good and bad because if you've
Yes.
read the books, you're expecting certain things,
And they're not happening
They're
the
not
way they
happening,
were.
which is good because I think
Well,
George
just like
R. R.
Walking Dead. I mean, they're more closely tied to the books than The Walking Dead is.
Right.
But The
Okay.
Walking Dead, until this season, was really veering with hitting certain plot points. Now it's kind of right back on track.
Well,
So
see,
this is the same kind of thing.
they've been different, and I think they're going to. I don't want to say come back a little bit. They've been pretty close so far. They're going to go way off the grid with this one because there are a lot of people who may have died in the books that
Okay.
aren't going to die. And there's a lot of people that
really?
they've said they were going to change the stream of a couple of major characters that and I
Really?
don't think it's a big surprise that he kills major characters all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a big spoiler. Rob Stark. I mean, just
Yeah.
Eddard
Not a big
Stark.
spoiler.
Here's your main
If you look
character.
at the character poster
Right.
for season 2, his head is on a pike.
Yes,
It kind of tells you what's going
He's kind
on.
of dead. I mean, well, Eddard Stark. Here's the best actor, the biggest actor in your.
And
in
he's
your,
dead.
And he's dead, and they cut your head off with two shows left.
Right.
So they say they're going to vary off some things because of, I don't want to say popularity, but I think because of what people want to have happen.
Sure.
And the likability
Well, to make
of
it
some
different.
characters. So,
Make
yeah.
it different. Well, and they've also said that the show, I think, is supposed to end before the final book comes out.
Oh, really?
That's what I read.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because he's not writing the book fast enough.
If George R. R. Martin dies before he finishes the books, he actually told HBO how he wanted it.
Right. He did. He
Right.
did tell them. George R. R. Martin did tell them how the books end. He told one of the showrunners, and I think that they are going to lead to that point essentially.
Sure.
Okay.
But how they get there is now
Right.
veering off of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Please let him want Daenerys to take the throne because I really want that to happen.
Well, I think everybody
So,
wants that to
alright.
happen, so it's probably not going to.
Right.
All right, so I have one unless you want to get one.
I do have one. I want to get this one in because
Go ahead.
this one just came in hot off the presses.
Hot off.
Ryan Gosling is in talks, so it's not really news. It's just he's in talks.
Okay.
But he's in talks to star in Guillermo del Toro's Haunted Mansion. Do you remember that horrible Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy? The one with
animated
Eddie Murphy.
The animated
Yeah,
one?
I thought
don't
you were
make-
talking about the
don't
one
make that face like
I
you
thought were
liked
talking
it.
About, wasn't there one with Liam Neeson in it too?
Oh well, that's the that's
That's a haunting or the haunted
the
house. Yeah.
haunted
Yeah.
something. Yeah, no, this is the one based on the Disney ride.
Okay.
And Guillermo del Toro is making a movie based on the Disney ride with Ryan
But
Gosling.
There's two words that
So-
shouldn't go together:
so when
Guillermo
you've
del
got-
Toro and.
But when you've
Disney.
got the Eddie Murphy Disney one, which was so bad and
Right.
so like kiddie, it's what people don't want to see. And then all of a sudden you've got this with Ryan Gosling. I am really interested.
Well, is it going to be a New Line Cinema movie, or what are they doing?
I don't know. It says that it's
It can't be
based on
Disney.
it's his adaptation of Disneyland's ride, so it's got to be Disney.
Yeah.
Well,
They're not going to
New-
let somebody else make that property.
But New Line is Disney, isn't it?
no, Touchstone is.
Touchstone, whichever they're
Yeah.
not going to do it under Disney. They can't. That's not going to be.
No, it'll
kid-friendly.
probably be
No.
under. But was Maleficent under the Disney title?
Ew. What,
Yeah, it had to be.
Maleficent? Yeah.
Oh, that just reminded me of more bad news. Because we talked about how now they're doing everything. They're doing Pinocchio live action. They just
Oh,
announced.
yeah.
So now they're doing Pinocchio live action. They've got Winnie the Pooh live action. They've got
Do they call Pinocchio running for mayor of
Mulan
Chicago?
live action. What?
They call
Dumbo
Pinocchio
live
running
action.
for mayor of Chicago.
Yes.
About the Mulan live action, she said she wants to
The
see it.
Dumbo live
I-
action.
Dumbo live action. That can't be good. The Pinocchio
Is that
one
Peter
could
Jackson
work.
doing? Who's doing that? Oh, no,
No, Peter
No, not
Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
No,
No,
it's 17 hours long. It's split into three movies.
movies. No, it's,
Dumbo at the end says goodbye to Timothy
What's his
for,
name?
for about an hour
Who's
and a
doing
half.
it?
Who's what?
Who's doing Dumbo?
It's Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah, no, and Danny Elfman, I'm sure, is going to do the score. And Okay, we might have found a movie that I'm not
Johnny
going to go
Depp is
see.
going to play Dumbo.
Yeah, Johnny Depp will play Dumbo. No, he'll be Timothy Mouse. You know it. Kevin James will be Dumbo. Please don't let that happen.
That's right.
Oh,
and he'll
man.
be driving.
I tell you what. Here's the twofer from hell.
It'll be in a mall.
We're going to show the new Annie movie and lead it right into that Dumbo movie. You got to sit through that. It's an endurance challenge. You think that sitting through all 17 hours of Lord of the Rings or all 27 hours of Marvel movies is an endurance challenge? Oh, wow. Sit through Annie and go into Dumbo. That's an endurance challenge.
Followed up by what was the Will Smith and Jaden Smith one?
Anything? After Earth.
After Earth.
Oh.
After Earth.
Now you're just being cruel.
And at the very end, you watch Green Lantern.
And you have to listen to 3 hours of Justin Bieber music.
That's just, you know what? That's just cruel. That's just cruel.
So I have one.
Okay,
The
let's hear it.
Back on track.
First official Jamie Bell as the Thing.
Yeah,
Pictures,
picture dropped
yeah.
of Jamie Bell as the Thing. Jamie Bell is Billy Elliot. So he's now the Thing.
Yes,
And
he is the Thing.
what did you think of this? I think it looks like half-done paper mache is what I think it looks like.
I like it. It looks similar to the comics.
It looks more similar to the Roger Corman thing than it does to the thing with Vic Mackey. What's that one with Vic Mackey? Yeah, what's his name?
Michael Chiklis?
Yeah, Michael Chiklis.
Well, it depends on it kind of looks like clay stone, and I think it might be okay if they can pull it off when you see it live.
I want to see it moving because right now it looks like paper mache. It looks like an unfinished model to me.
It does, or it looks like it could be thrown off as stone, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. But the rest of it looks, I mean, these shots look cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So it might be visually cool. I just don't know. But that thing, I was excited to see the thing, and now I'm like, I don't know about that.
When I saw the trailer, that first trailer they dropped about a month or 6 weeks ago, I thought I was really interested, and they didn't show the thing. They showed everyone else but him. So hopefully they can.
I'll tell you what I'm most nervous about. Have you seen that leaked photo? Because the leaked photo of the thing looks like this. The one that was the production photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the leaked photo of Dr. Doom was really terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous. Like, what are they doing with Dr. Doom? That could be just awful. Awful. Oh, this is one. Edward, I can tell you what this is. So this was announced this week. Lego is coming out with, they have these great video games. The Lego video games are all fun. I like them all. Well, they are doing one called Dimensions. And is it Dimensions or Dimensions?
Dimensions because
Tomato. Yeah,
Potato.
see, okay. So it's Dimensions. And what it is kind of like Skylanders or Disney Infinity. Only it's with Lego, and right up front they show Lego Batman, which makes me go, oh, now I think we need to get this.
And now you have
Stupid
Gandalf.
Lego getting my money. I like Lego. Stupid
And you have
Lego.
Gandalf.
But you're going to do that and the Doctor Who set? That's going to be
the Doctor Who set for sure. And you know what? This was a non-story they released this week. They're like, the Doctor Who set is official. It was official a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So
A month ago. Not even a few.
So, yeah, come on. So that was another big story this week. Big. Arrested Development. Did you read this? Anyone like Arrested Development?
I do, but
That's one.
I don't know what it is.
one more and we got a group.
It's a great show. And the Brian Grazer, who's the producer, announced that 17 new episodes coming to Netflix. They didn't give a time frame. They didn't go into any details. This has been something that's been a rumor after that what was it, 12 episodes that hit Netflix
Are they waiting
last
for
year?
Michael Cera's schedule to free up?
You know what? I think it's probably pretty free right now. I haven't seen him in very much lately. I think David Cross has the busier schedule because he's got the new Chipmunks movie coming out and Chipmunks 4.
Alvin and the Chipmunks is getting another sequel.
Yes, it is. Chipmunks 4.
You cannot have too many
You heard it
Chipmunks.
here first on This Week in Geek. Who cares?
No one.
But David Cross, he's got that new show on Netflix that he's doing with Bob Odenkirk.
Right.
So, I mean, he's going to be a busy guy.
That looks good.
That's going to be amazing.
That's going to be brilliant.
That's going to be amazing.
Really?
I think that's big news. 17 new episodes of Arrested Development. And I think they can fix the sins of the last season. The problem with the last season, I liked it. It had a couple of ups and downs. It wasn't as good as the old seasons. It was still good, still worth your time. But here was the problem. They couldn't get all the actors together.
Right.
So what they did was they shot one scene where they were all in like a police station, and you would see them walking by each other, and they were all kind of not really interacting. It was all like green screen to make it look like they were all in one place. And then they'd go off and do the story of each character, and you'd have these little bits happening. So it was a way to get around that. I think that this time, the reason they're taking their time, they're doing 17 episodes, I don't think we're going to get that. I think we're going to get a regular Arrested Development series. And I'm sure Netflix is willing to pay because with all they've been doing, they've been shelling out money. This is a surefire hit for them.
Well, they have some serious hits that have generated business.
They've got Marvel money now.
They've expanded that, yeah.
But they've got Marvel money.
They've got Marvel money. They've got
this Daredevil thing's going to be huge.
House of Cards. I mean, they are really producing.
Orange is the New Black.
I mean,
hopefully Southgate Media Group they'll absorb. That'd be nice.
That would be great.
We're going to have This Week in Geek to combat Jimmy Oliver. What is it, John Oliver's This Week, Last Week, or whatever? Yeah.
We got to work on that a little bit.
They need to hire us. Netflix, hire us.
John Oliver's
Hashtag give us cash. We do it for cash. You can pay less if you give cash.
That's right. You get a 10% discount if you pay cash.
10% discount if you pay us cash.
Well, they're the new HBO where they can do that HBO quality type of things without any restriction.
You know what?
What
they've done is they have shown a new way of doing TV.
Right.
And HBO did it. I mean, really, HBO did it. With Sopranos is where that really kind of started. Although I say that it was the Gary Shandling show that kind of started it.
Yeah, it did. But, I mean, The Sopranos was the one that got the traction. Gary Shandling was a great show.
Right.
But
Sopranos got the traction.
Sopranos was different from regular TV, where Gary Shandling was regular TV.
But better.
But better, and they could swear. So, hey, that's great.
Right. And it had Hank in it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, look at all these. Even like MTV has jumped into the fold. We have a podcast about Teen Wolf, and people always say this show is really good.
Right.
You think of MTV. Now, we used to think of music videos. Then we thought of Beavis and Butthead. Now, all I think of is Teen Mom. But I hear that these shows like.
If you stopped getting pregnant, do you think that TV would actually play music again?
No. I think that shows like Teen Wolf, they're doing the Shahara. You know those. They're going to try and compete with Game of Thrones.
Okay.
With there's a series of books, Shahara.
Good luck with that. So.
Yeah, and MTV is jumping into the fold with that.
Okay.
I think
they can't.
Okay.
I think Game of Thrones sold itself because it went. I don't want to say it went the extra mile, but got did the whole.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
But
you know what?
The whole
you
shebang.
can take these really good deep story properties and make something good, and I think that's what they're doing. MTV's going to make it 13 episodes a week or a year.
Right.
What?
They could. There's way better vehicles out there than that book. I think maybe.
Than Shahara?
I think so.
But there was a series, and
there was a
people
series, and
loved
they
it.
were good, and
like Wheel of Time. Somebody did you hear about that? What happened?
I mean,
Wheel of Time is awesome, but did you hear about Wheel of Time? What happened?
No.
It was. I'm going to get the name wrong. It might have been MTV. About a month ago, one of these stations, and I think it was MTV, I could be throwing them under the bus for no reason, aired a 15-minute pilot in the middle of the night that was Wheel of Time. And nobody saw this, but it hit all the geek news right after it happened. And after the dust settled, it was like, where did this come from? Nobody even knew this was happening. It turns out whatever channel it was owned the rights, and the time was running out, so they had to put something on. So they made a 15-minute pilot for Wheel of Time. And I guess it's awful.
Probably, because they probably just threw it out there.
But I also heard that because it was done in the 0 hour for this, that I think the family owns the rights, and it took them to court, and it's like, yeah, no, that didn't work. You can't sit on it and lock it up for 10 years, and then literally the last 15 minutes of owning it, pop it on in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they were saying it was February 9th or something at 1:30 in the morning.
Yep. I would love to see Wheel of Time done. I would there's a lot of them.
It would have to be done well. That would be a tough one because it isn't as.
Yeah, time travel shows never work.
No, but I mean, the real time. But it wasn't about time travel. It's not about.
No, I know
it's about how it goes, and it's not as It's not as
No,
exciting.
it's like 29 books or something ridiculous.
13. I'm not counting.
13.
Not that I've read all of them, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
13 is it?
Yeah, only.
I could
Hold on.
do that.
It was supposed to be a trilogy and turned into 13 books.
Oh,
and actually the last book
that's like
was,
The Hobbit.
The last book was so long.
That movie was supposed to be one movie.
The last book had so many loose ends to tie up. It became 3.
Yeah. Well, and isn't the son writing the final book or something?
No, it was a guy named Bob Sanderson who was a big fan
Bob
of Robert.
Saget? Yeah, he
Bob
was great on
Saget,
Full House.
He did, yeah.
Very dirty comedian, I hear.
It was a blue.
All of a sudden, the Wheel of Time goes very blue.
Well, no, but they got, actually, when Robert Jordan was very sick, he
told them.
He mentioned this guy that he liked the way he wrote and said that's okay. And then when he passed, the wife approached this gentleman to finish the series and looked at all of the notes, and it was...
And the guy heard a cash register ring and went,
oh, yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. But I don't think it was that, but the family, did 3 books instead of 1. So.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
And it was good. It was a good, end to the series.
I haven't read them. I've only listened to the audiobook of the first one, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
I thought
it is
was
awesome.
great.
It was weird because coming from The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and then reading this...
I wouldn't do that next.
But I'm saying very similar, but it took me about 75 pages to get into it.
Yeah.
I could never get past page 50, and I started the series 5 times. A friend of mine goes, you need to read to page 100. And he goes, exactly page 72 will get you. And sure enough, at 72, I was like, this is great.
That's what did it. I had that problem with Dune. I started Dune like 8 times. Starting back in like 8th grade. My parents got me Dune in like 8th grade. That's a monster book, number one. But number 2, I would read the first maybe 50 pages, and then I would drop off. And it was after we got married. It was sitting on my nightstand one night, and I was like, okay, I'm starting it. Took me a while to get through those first 50, and then it was like the next like 400 were like 2 days. It was like crazy. It was so good.
Well, once you figure out how to say Kwisatz Haderach, then you're okay.
What?
It's like you're like, yeah. You're
House
like,
Harkonnen.
You're like, huh? What's going on? And then you get to
My
it.
dib.
Well, some of that is hard. You can't get a vision around those words.
Right.
I mean, when you're reading them, you make it up in your mind, and then you're like, what the heck is that? And it's hard to get around some of that. I mean, Herbert was very literal in his interpretation. So.
Yes. All right. I've got one more, and then we're done unless you got something real quick.
Fine.
I have something. True Detective debuts at season 2.
Yep, season 2 of True Detective. The trailer looks awesome. You know what? Vince Vaughn is in it, and that's the only thing people have been saying. He looks too clean to be a career criminal. I thought he looked good in it. What's his name? Speaking of Daredevil, he played the bad guy in the Daredevil movie. I can't think of his name.
Bad guy.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. Taylor
Sorry,
Kitsch, I don't know who that is. And Rachel McAdams are in True Detective 2. It's a different cast than the first season. We watched the first episode of True Detective. Awesomeness.
Oh,
I can't wait to get through the series. I can't wait for this to happen. And I love Rachel McAdams. She's great.
Number 1, the first True Detective was unbelievable because
Spoiler.
Matthew McConaughey was...
All right.
He was unbelievably crazy in this movie.
Oh, really?
Well,
wait,
I'm
Matthew
just saying,
McConaughey?
That's a big... I mean, he was like crazier than normal.
I keep getting older. They just stay the same.
Stay the same, I mean, that was a pretty good imitation. But
You like that impression? Did I do a good job?
their interaction was unbelievable in the movie, and you couldn't really dislike Woody Harrelson more than you do watching this
Really?
movie. Yeah. And then if the second one is anywhere close to that, it's going to be a
it will be. You know it's going to be awesome. Okay, last thing then.
Oh, I might have one.
Oh, Edward. We
Sorry.
call it the Lee fake out.
I just saw this Five Nights at Freddy's movie in the works.
I don't know what that is. What is Five Nights at Freddy's?
Five Nights at Freddy's is a...
I know Freddy the Krueger.
No, it's...
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
It is a very...
Five Nights at Freddy Prinze Jr.
It is a very popular click horror game.
It's a what game?
It's a horror game, I would say.
Is it like a video game?
It's a video game, but it's not. It's you sit in a chair and you watch cameras and they attack you. It's a jump scare.
What's it on?
PC?
Oh, okay. It's a PC game. Okay.
Yes, and they had
We're not very PC, so.
3 games. They were all really successful.
And they're making like a live action or an animated?
They're making a movie. It just says,
So is it going to be a kids movie or is it going to be an adult movie?
It's going to be kids because it was most popular on YouTube.
Okay.
That's where it actually hit it.
So here's the question of the hour. Should I seek this out to see what it's about?
You need to watch like a 15.
That's a yes.
5-minute thing of what it is. It's okay. That's what it is. It's
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend 5 nights at
Why
Freddy's,
don't
so I
I
take
play
it.
it? Huh?
I'll try it. I'll
Yeah.
look it up. All right. Last thing. I thought this was announced before, but it got official this week. The Russo brothers are officially directing Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. They're the guys that directed Captain America 2.
Right.
I
Okay.
could not be more excited about this.
That's very good news.
It's great
That's
news.
great.
Well, they're
And-
bringing the continuity in of bringing directors over the series
Yes.
timeline, which is good because they can.
Well, and think about it. Infinity War, because they're directing Civil War.
Yeah. Yeah.
Infinity War is definitely going to have repercussions from that. So having these guys lead into that, it couldn't be a better choice. Everyone kept saying James Gunn, but I'm like, no, let James Gunn do the space stuff.
Right.
I want them to make a Micronauts movie, the Marvel Micronauts with Round the Space Knight and James Gunn directing it. I want to see that happen.
And that's
How
never-
awesome would that be? And Ghost Rider 2099 shows up on his flaming headed motorcycle. That'd be awesome.
That's never
And
gonna
Star
happen.
Brand from the new universe. I think I'm having a conniption. I'm getting so excited. I know nobody's
Fine.
even listening to me.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, that's Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
Sorry.
last thing, Eric Kripke. You guys are going to like this. Eric Kripke, who
Yes.
developed Supernatural. He's the
Supernatural.
creator of Supernatural.
Yay.
From Big Bang Theory, Kripke.
Are you talking about Crypt Keeper?
He is doing. I wish they were doing something with Crypt Keeper. He is
wishes.
doing a mini series for Vertigo. Vertigo Comics is a line from DC. They do Preacher. They do all these great comics. Sandman, like some of my favorite books. He is writing a mini series for Vertigo, and at the same time, it's being made into a live action TV series. It's called Amped, and
Nice.
I was excited until I read the description of Amped.
What's the description?
Here's
of
the
Ants?
description. It's a dad, and he takes over-the-counter medicine, and he takes too much, and it turns him into a superhero.
Oh well.
Frickin' you. That could be. Everything
This-
else sounded great,
This
but
is so bad.
this sounds terrible.
Then
Yeah,
you see the
this-
rise.
I'm going to hate myself for
Tylenol.
watching it, too. I'm going to hate myself for reading the comic.
And you're going to
It's
hate
gonna
yourself
be
for
an-
talking about it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm hating myself for talking about it right now. Endurance challenge, you got to watch Annie, and then you got to read this comic, then you got to watch Dumbo by Tim Burton, and then you got to watch the TV series for Amped.
And then you
then-
you have to watch
then
Green Lantern.
and then Afterlife.
And then Green Lantern.
I'm going to mark
Oh.
this one #1 hit because you've
Right,
panned
because
it
of what
already.
I'm saying.
Because you've already panned
You're going
it.
to mark your words?
That's why I'm
All right.
marking my words.
All right, that's it. Thank you for listening to This Week in Geek,
Yay.
everybody. It was a little bit longer than usual because we had a lot to talk about and we had nobody here. So
We're very
that's
geeky.
it. Thank you so much, Blue Box. Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you.